quick disclaimer. Any opinion said in this video may offend some people. And if you are one of those people, you shouldn't be here. Make sure to have an open mind and have fun with the podcast.
It's like, except now it's an Indian guy going, "Let me buy your bloody daughter. Otherwise she's a big fat African-American bitch." Like, are you joking? Hello, and welcome back to the Desensitized podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tidal Johnson. I'm joined with the other host.
Me. That one would be me.
Yes, Jade Waipara. And today we're also joined by a special guest.
Yeah, special needs guest anyway.
Hey, he said
Introduce
special,
yourself.
leave it at that.
So, introduce yourself, special guest.
I'm Mitchell. About it.
All right, awesome.
Just Mitchell. What's your last name? What do you do for a living, you know?
What's your bank account details?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yes. Like, what's your employment status?
What's your social security number?
All right, yeah. So, quick
So
introduction.
we just have Just Mitchell.
Yeah, just Mitchell.
We're just going to move on because he doesn't want to, talk about himself and, be a part of this. He's just sort of bystanding, I guess.
My name was Mitchell Engel and my dad's dead. You feel better now?
Yes.
I do, thanks.
Yes, we do. Quick introductions. I'm Tidal Johnson. I run a YouTube channel, do cinematography, all sorts of stuff like that. You may have heard this before in the last podcast, but just for people who haven't yet. So yeah, I run my own YouTube channel. Videos don't come out that often because I got to work on them very long. So yeah, so now I'm doing a podcast. In terms of serious issues and stuff, I have no qualifications whatsoever to have an official stance on it. This is literally just my opinion, and the jokes are jokes, so take it lightheartedly, I guess. Jade?
With this whole jokes thing, they're mainly opinions. More said like jokes, but honest opinions. To hurt your feelings, you probably shouldn't be here. And I will not show the same kindness as Tidal has. If you want to know about me, go have a look at the other episodes. It'll tell you. I'm not repeating this every time.
Yeah, right. I like to repeat it just to plug my YouTube channel every single time. So, Mitchell.
Because you're fucking scum, that's why.
and I'm Mitchell. I'm unemployed, and my dad's dead.
Nice.
Yay!
Really searching for a personality there. Okay, so you guys done with introductions? Ready to move on to the actual topic now?
Well, why do you say that so hostilely?
Yeah, I think I'm finished with my 2D character introductions.
Okay, sweet. So, first topic of this podcast, abortion. What do you think of it? Should it be legal? Should it be illegal? Is it murder? Is it not? So, what do you guys think?
Let me get the special guest to kick this one off.
Yeah, special guest to take it from the top.
Well, being super qualified with my failed everything, I believe that it shouldn't be illegal, but it should be harder to get through, especially because of the mental effects it can take. It can take on both the female and the male, taking a child's life. And not to mention, I think that it totally disregards the father in the situation, which I disagree with.
Okay, yeah.
Preach! Preach!
Preach! Okay, Jade, do you agree with the standpoint?
I do agree with that, but on one hand, it's kind of hard to take on sometimes because you've got the opinion of the father, which should matter because it's the woman's child, but the woman getting final say without his regard because she's the one who's birthing the child in the first place. So that's a real controversial sort of thing right there, and it's hard to stand on one side or the other, in my opinion. It's like, you sort of got to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
it's either that or you're hard left or hard right sort of shit.
Yeah, you can't be hard left, murder a baby every weekend, or hard right, none.
Well, I do
You
that
get
anyway,
raped,
but
too bad. You know?
Too bad.
sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I've never really been able to form an actual opinion on abortion because it's just one of those topics I've always stayed away from because I just can't really think of an actual solution to the issue, to be honest.
Well, I do
Because,
agree with what Mitchell's solution was to increase how hard it is to actually get one, so you're not just killing a child every day, sort of thing, unless it's like
yeah,
a rape child or something.
yeah, that's true. But on the other side, like, where's the border? Where's the area where like it gets too hard that people are gonna do it illegally a lot? Like, I'm not mean people probably do it illegally regardless of whether or not things are legal or not because maybe it's easier for the paperwork. But where's the border where the majority will end up going to the illegal side? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no, I get what you mean, but like, I guess that would depend on where you cut them off at. So, like,
Yeah.
let's say one is a free sample, everyone gets one free one. And then the next one, like, maybe it's like half the price. Then the one after that, it's going to be hard fucking restrictions because there's no way you've just killed 3 babies
Yeah, what
But
about
and
with
you've been
the
raped
twins?
like
stamp
3 times.
card,
What
so
about
if you
twins?
get 10 abortions, then you get then you get the like 11th one free.
Like, you got like one of those like Saint Pierre's sushi hole punch cards.
And then fucking
Yeah.
right downstairs from the abortion club is fucking St. Pierre's, and you see them rolling a fetus into a fucking sushi roll.
The only better one would be there'd also be an Animates next door as well.
Oh, plus a really, really shit coffee shop.
Kids are us.
You fucking just see him, like, after the doctor's done, the little fetus, you see him chuck it off into a dog bag. You see it carried downstairs.
You see it being
Dog
put
food,
into meat
25% off.
pies. You see it put into meat pies. Yeah, okay. But back on the actual issue, where are the borders though? Are you gonna border it on how many abortions you have, or are you gonna border it on how late the pregnancy is? Because it's very like this
I
is the reason why it's hard for me because it's very difficult for me to like figure out a solution in terms of abortion that's not going to be on any of these sides. In terms of like obesity and stuff like that, the solution is obvious, right? It's like, you know, the laws and stuff in places that do exist have worked and better like cycle ways and all sorts of shit like that. So you can, you know, walk to work, cycle to work, blah, 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 catch a train instead of having to pollute the air with your car and wait in traffic for 10 hours. But when it comes to abortion, it's a really tricky topic for me. I can't really think of it really logically. It's a really emotional thing. And I guess that's kind of what's
I think
blocking me.
I think I have a main solution. Obviously, you know, you have to edit it, but the main one is it should be only for like rape, or you have to prove like not it's not like super hard that you have to go that you have to like you know take a sperm sample out of yourself and go this is the dude that raped me, but
Yeah.
like police report. Like someone raped me. Here's the police report. I want an abortion. Or you show that you or your family are not financially stable to have the child, because
Yeah.
consensual sex I don't think is good enough for abortion. Because I know for a fact that if a woman went no, I want the child, it doesn't matter what state the father is in, he will have to fork up the money. He will
Yeah.
be
Oh, well,
hated
That's
guess
on
we're
by
true.
his
broke then.
parents, and
Yeah.
then he will have to work for the rest for like 18 years to support this child. So I think a little bit of equality in that, you know, if it's consensual sex, because everyone's like, oh, the dude should have wrapped it.
Well,
Women
yeah,
can
of
take
course.
contraception too, and female condoms exist.
Well,
So
yeah,
I
yeah, of
think it
course the
should not.
dude should have wrapped it though. You know, being a, like, obviously, the dude should have wrapped it or been sure. You know, there is a bit of
Yeah,
Yeah,
personal
but wait,
responsibility there.
yeah, but also the female can do her part as well. Like, that's saying obviously for men, but you're completely disregarding a woman's, like, contraceptive pills and shit.
Yeah,
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 and
but I'm
female
meaning,
condoms and all this bullshit.
yeah, yeah,
Are you
I agree.
sexist, are you?
Me? Because I'm disregarding.
How dare you?
Well, no, this is about the guy's personal responsibility. You know, this is about the guy doing what he can for himself and not thinking that the girl has to do it and then it's her fault if anything goes wrong. You know, he has to take a bit
No,
of personal
it's
But then
responsibility.
that swings both ways, and it's not her fault because condoms can break.
Yeah, that's true. Like, obviously, you can do double security, but I don't know what everybody's
actually
thoughts
double
are
doesn't
on that.
work. Double is more likely to break.
No, not
You
double
double like
condom. I mean,
friction can
no,
cause
not
stop it.
double
Oh, okay.
fucking condom, bro. I'm meaning condom and contraceptive pill, you fucking
Hey,
dick.
what the fuck's the point if you're wearing two condoms?
I don't know. People do it.
You wear a
That
fucking
just
plastic
seems kind of
bag.
pointless now to me.
Nah,
You
you're
wear a
gonna
plastic
quadruple that
bag
shit.
on.
Condom, contraception, pull out, and the morning after pill. Only way to be safe.
Only way to be safe, not fucking down a whole fucking punnet of pills.
Fucking
And then
yeah.
in the morning, go puke them back up and clean yourself out.
And then
Yeah,
get a
don't even have to be
vasectomy
morning
as
after
well.
pills.
And don't forget the
Down a
vasectomy.
whole,
You gotta have a
down a
Yeah,
whole
vasectomy
right
as
piece of
well.
before.
morphine.
Get a vasectomy.
You get a vasectomy before every time.
And if you can't afford it, do it yourself. Why not?
Just like right before, say, hey lady, yeah, kick me in the nuts.
That's not a vasectomy.
Oi,
I've got bad
bite
news for
my
you.
nuts off.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, obviously. There's personal responsibility on the guy's part as well as the girl. Obviously, girls can sabotage guys and not take the pill without telling them and break condoms without telling them. And I guess that's probably an issue that you're thinking of, right? You know, if the guy didn't consent to actually impregnating the woman, there probably is, but I don't know anything about this. There needs to be a system in place to, you know, protect that guy from having to pay child support for a child that he didn't even consent to, and there was like, you know, a nefarious act behind it instead of just a mistake. You know what I mean?
I don't know about New Zealand, but in America, it's quite the opposite. Like women who have gone to sperm banks have sued the father of that sperm from the bank, and women who have sexually assaulted or raped minors, even they can still sue that minor for child support. Again, I don't know what it's like in New Zealand, but in America, that shit happens. Women have all the rights when it comes to parenting.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it makes sense to a degree. Obviously, when it's both consenting individuals, I will agree that the girl has to have the last say on whether or not the child is born. But when it comes to child support, there must be a way for the dad to opt out, but only before the child is born. If the child's born, then no. You know, because then guys can be like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I
it's
completely
fine.
agree with that, to be
And
honest.
then
Like,
like 2 weeks
if you
later,
can
be like, oh, this
choose
was a
to
bit more
have that
expensive.
child,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah, I think that may be a good system to have, you know, and it would have to be obviously in a document and written and secured somewhere, you know. You can't just be like, oh, well, I said I didn't want it, because, you know, obviously people can fake that later on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's like, I never wanted this kid to begin with, but you're the one who had it, so why am I paying child support?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely
Exactly.
agree with that.
Yeah, that would probably be a decent way out. I think. But obviously, the actual existence of the child will be in the mother's hands.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Yep, no, I can actually completely agree with this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people may think that's unfair because the guy can cop out after being pregnant, but the girl can't, depending on what your stance on abortion is. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that the woman should be able to abort the child if it was a consensual mistake? I think Mitchell said no, but I just want to
No,
clear it up.
I said if she can prove that she is in no place to have the child, her and her family not financially stable, or she's not mentally stable for it. But if like everyone should know that if you do the devil's tango, there is a chance
The
babies will come
devil's
from it.
the devil's tank. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
You want to
okay.
go have you a fuck? There's always the risk.
The baby risk, the
Yeah,
worst
so you should
STD of
know
all.
this.
The worst STI of all, pregnancy. Like I was thinking of something. Okay, then it has to be a two-way street. The guy also has to prove that he's not in financial situation to do it. Otherwise, he can cop out real easy, and it's not very fair on the woman. You know what I mean?
I completely.
Although it is
Yeah,
about
but
someone's life
see,
as well when it comes to the
you're
woman's
taking
side.
two different ideas and trying to merge them together. See, one was Mitchell's and one was yours. So if you're trying to make one big idea, that might crumble this.
Well, I don't know, but that's how you're supposed to solve problems. You need a big solution that covers all these bases, and when we connect them together, that's when progress is made. I mean, when they're not
Yeah,
going to
but
change all
then
the laws
sometimes
because of
more
us, but
equals
still.
less.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true,
no,
but
because when you try to add everything into a situation, like if you try and take every solution and add it into one problem, those solutions end up contradicting with each other, causing more problems.
yeah, I'm just saying that if you say that the guy can cop out before the baby's born, but the girl can only cop out if she's not financially able to support the baby, but the guy can cop out regardless, that's unfair. So I'm just saying it
Yeah,
has
no,
to be a
that one's
two-way
unfair.
street. The guy has to also
Yeah, if
prove
she,
that he's financially unable to pay child support, right?
Yeah, but the copping out was your idea. The proving financially stable thing was my idea. I get where Jade was coming from, but I don't think. I agree, but also don't agree about the copping out thing. Like, guys shouldn't be allowed to cop out whatsoever, unless, of course, it's dire circumstances. So I think, either way, like, he needs to prove that he is unstable. And it's not just financially unstable. Also, I did also mention mentally unstable
Yeah,
or not in, like, unhealthy.
like
If
really
if there are
sick.
any reasons, yeah, any complications that might
like, you better
hinder
be
the
homeless,
child.
motherfucker. You better be out of money. You best be living in a box, my nigga. I
Yeah.
see you go buy a sandwich, you're fucked.
Yeah,
You
okay,
you
so
be, you best be homeless and you best be a quadriplegic. Otherwise, you paying child support.
yeah, okay. So scenario, right? Let's say what happens absolute just genuine mistake, no nefarious stuff with a woman poking holes in condoms and stopping taking the pill without telling their boyfriend or anything. None of that. It's literally they had sex, they're together, then the baby, they find out that she's pregnant. The girl says, "Okay, I want to have the baby," but the guy says, "No, I don't want the baby at all." Should the guy not have to pay child support if he's not in a financial ruin or anything like that? Or should he just have to pay child support regardless, even though he didn't want the baby? That's my
It,
question.
it goes, well, at least for me, it goes back to when I said, you want to have your fuck. There's the risk. If he
Okay.
has nothing that will hinder him from helping the baby, no, he's not financial. He doesn't need financial aid. He's not sick as a fucking dog, and he's all right mentally. Then there is no reason that he can't look after that child. Again, you do the devil's tango, you face the consequences.
Okay, so I'm guessing the whole guys being able to cop out with child support comes down to that criteria being that those things which also apply to the woman wanting to get an abortion, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's basically it is a two-way street, but both of the people have the opportunity to cop out when it comes to being a part of this criteria, or to like remove the
Yes.
baby, or to not pay child support in their respective rights. But if
Yeah,
they
to remove the baby or not be a parent. We actually both fall under not being a parent.
Well, I also want to add that they should put restrictions on the father seeing the child if he doesn't want to be a part of it from the beginning.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
true.
think
That's
if
true.
he
That
if he
I
says I
completely
don't want to be
agree.
a father, then I
He
think
doesn't
it
get
should
custody.
be. Yeah, he
He
doesn't
doesn't
get
get
any
any
Yeah,
custody.
custody.
He doesn't get visiting. He loses all rights to call that
yeah, like
that
you can't
child
just
his
come and say,
child.
"Oh, I want to see my son." It's like, bro, you opted out. You don't
Yeah,
have a
that's not your
son.
son. That's not your son. The only way you can see him as a friend, and the friend comes at the discretion of the mother's decisions. There is no
Yeah,
like
Actually,
legal
I think
backing.
I think that it comes when the child is old enough to make decisions for itself at 16. So if you choose
once the
not to be
child's
a
old
parent,
enough
you have to wait
and
16 years.
well,
Yeah.
no, when they're out of that child support range, I'd reckon, because then from that point forward, it's like child
So
support
you
wouldn't
reckon
matter from
18,
here now.
they become
Yeah.
an adult.
When they
Yep.
become an adult, then they have a legal right to go see their father,
But
regardless
it's
of the
not their
parents'
father.
permissions.
It's not legally their father because the
Well, no,
father
it's their
copped out.
father. But it's not
Biological
their dad.
father.
It's their friend legally. Legally speaking,
They get to
it
go
would have
see
to
their
be.
sperm donor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Sperm donor would have to be the legal term. That's a lot better than friend, I think.
Yeah, friend kind of just seems a bit pedophilia like.
Yeah. I
They
mean,
get to go see their home nutsacks.
I guess legally speaking, then the kid would just be a stranger to the father, right? So the father's still allowed to see him, but only like there's no legal backing like with custody. You know what I mean? So
Yep, no, I
the
still
mother
reckon
can
the
be like,
father's allowed to see with consent from the mother.
yeah, with consent from the mother, yeah. So no custody.
Yeah.
It's literally like as if a random person wanted to see the kid. You know?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
And any hostile action taken to see the kid will be met with equal hostility from law enforcement. I think
Equal hostility.
not like a
So he's
not
gone around
like a
murdering people on the street, then the police are coming back to murder on the street as well. Or what?
if it's to get his son, then yes.
They're like he's just been stabbed like 6 people on the street to try and get his son, and then the police come and stab him. They're like, shit, we need to stab 5 more to be equal.
Or they stab
we
him as
stab
many
him
times
4
as he
more
stabbed
times.
those people.
Yeah.
He stabbed those 6 people a cumulative of 38 times. He gets 38 stabs.
It's
In
just
6 different
like,
areas.
take this!
1, 2,
Equality!
3, 4, 5, 6,
Eye
7.
for an
Fuck,
eye.
the stomach's still full. 8, 9, the leg.
Oh, he
Equal.
died. Well, this is not
Eye
fun anymore.
Eye for an eye.
Wait, we're only at 21 though. Bucket, keep going.
Fuck, we'll have to turn this to his family members. Shit, he opted out. He don't have any family members.
He don't have no family. You know
He
he
got
still
a
had
dog,
parents.
Tony.
Nah. He gave that up when he gave up being a father.
Yes, when you give up fatherhood, you also give up your parents.
You give up all family.
You got a sister? No, you don't.
Not
You
anymore.
got cousins? Nah.
You are now alone in this world.
You got
You a dog? We're taking that too.
you got a brother that's now a brief acquaintance.
You got you a secret family? Yeah, we're taking them.
Out. We're taking them out. We're killing them. They're dead now.
This has got a bit off track, off the rails. These are our genuine opinions, as Jade said before. They may sound
these
like
are not
jokes, but
these
they're
are
our genuine
opinions.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so baseline, if this situation happens, and they're both financially stable, yada yada, they meet the criteria we've talked about, they must have the baby. Is that what you guys are saying? Is there a cutoff point in the like time during it? Can they get an abortion within the first week, or what do you guys think?
I don't think time has anything to do with it. It's just the guidelines, the parameters that we set.
Okay, so is there a time where it's too late to have an abortion if they meet these parameters but don't get an abortion until like a week before the birth? Is that still fine for them to get an abortion?
I mean, you can't legally get an abortion within like 2 months of the due date.
Okay, well, this is about our opinions. So, what is your opinion? Or what are your
All right,
opinions?
if we're taking science out of it, then I think until the child is born, that they have the right to decide.
Okay.
Hey, well, we can't legally do this, but if you try jumping down the flight of steps, like, I'll turn around.
You know, we can't legally do this, but here's a baseball bat. Swing for the fences.
Oh, it was an accident, I swear.
Oh no, yeah, we believe you.
I didn't mean to use her stomach like a trampoline.
Yeah, okay. All right, now another theoretical then. Let's say the the woman was like jealous because her boyfriend started getting famous, right? And like music or whatever, right? Then she got scared that he had fans, that like a bunch of girls were fans of him, and that he would leave her for the fans, so she pokes holes in the condoms and ends up pregnant with his child. Do you think the guy should be able to opt out of that pregnancy?
I think that can fall under the banner of unconsensual,
Yeah,
especially if
yeah,
he
yeah,
can
of
prove
course.
that it was stabbed. So then no, I believe that he can opt out.
Yeah, okay. And
If he
there's no
can if he can
repercussions.
pull that no, if he can show that condom to the police and go, you see that? That's a pinhole, then
Yeah, but that's
then no.
really hard to try and push across, sort of thing. Like condoms break, and you can't exactly walk up with the used condom. Hey, you see this? You see this? Like
Or like
there's
the
a
packet.
pinhole.
Yeah, you could just fucking get a new packet and fucking poke a pinhole through it and then walk to the police and be like, see that? You know? If you get let's just say if you get a confession out of the woman.
Well, yeah, there could be that too, but then that still
Or
falls under the "it takes two to tango" sort of shit.
I was about to say that. Like there's
yeah,
always that risk.
yeah. But we know that she had nefarious intent. Like the guy was using condoms, and to the guy's knowledge, she was on contraceptive pills. Right? They were safe in the guy's mind. He did everything to be safe, but the girl had done this to try and get pregnant because she didn't want him to leave her. This is what comes out. Then does that still fall under
Yeah,
it
but you've
takes
got to
two to
take it from a
tango or
standpoint.
not?
Well, you've also got to take this from the standpoint, like, imagine that guy coming up and pleading his case to you. Emotionally remove yourself from the situation, and imagine that you're the one who's conducting the investigation on it.
Okay, well,
Like,
let's
you don't
say
know if he's lying and he is this big famous person, so he can't opt out, sort of thing. And then from a base point, unless you've got the evidence to prove, plus the confession that she said that she did it, you're not going to go anywhere.
okay, yeah, but I'm just saying if you could prove the case. I'm just saying in that situation, like let's say
Well, if you can
text messages were
100% prove
found,
your
and
case,
text
then
messages
yeah, that
between
falls
her and her
under
mother were
unconventional.
found that were like dating back to before it happened, saying what she wants to do. And then the mother says, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." And then she says, I'm going to do it anyway." And then you get the confession out of her when you put a bit of pressure on her, and obviously the text messages, and let's say a fucking call as well. You hear like
Well,
between
yeah,
her and a
well,
friend.
that's a very unconventional thing. So that falls under unconventional. Because if you can prove that she did it wrong, then she was in the wrong, then he should be able to opt out.
Yeah, but do you think the opt out should have the same penalties? Or do you think like the penalties that we spoke of before, that this is no longer his child, he can't see him at all? Or what do you think? Do you think this is a special case, or will it just fall under the opt out if he wants to opt out thing?
It'll just fall out of the opt out because if he
Yeah.
wanted to see that kid, he wouldn't opt out in the first place.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I agree.
I think it falls under something totally different if he does want the child, but obviously wants her the fuck away from his child. That is like child protective services. That's something totally different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
yeah.
reckon in that situation he gains full custody. If she wants to
Yeah.
do that, but he still wants their child, I reckon he gets full custody and a restraining order is put against her from him, but she can still see the child.
I
Yeah,
think
okay.
even if she does that, it's proven that she is not
Yeah,
a
A suitable mother.
sane person. Yeah.
she
So
didn't
I
want
think
to have the child and be a mother. She wanted to have the child to use it as a tool against the boyfriend. So I think
Yeah,
so
yeah,
so I
he's
reckon if
that's
not
he
fit to
pretty
wants
be a
the
harsh.
mother.
child, he can keep the child. That's why he's got full custody, and the restraining order is placed against her with the dude that she had this unconventional situation with. But with his legal right, if he says so, she can see the child if she so pleases to.
Yeah, if the guy says so. But without the guy saying
Yeah,
anything, there's no legal backing behind the girl.
yeah, no. So
Yeah, and
it's
there is a
full
restraining
custody
order against
underneath
her.
the father and the restraining order. So she can't come in with a certain range or come in within a certain range.
And she should be made to pay child support.
Oh yeah, okay. I gotta agree because that's obviously a
no,
horrible
that's
situation. Okay.
yeah, that's really bad.
Okay,
So
and the same, obviously two-way street. If the guy did something like that, obviously same deal, but the other way around, right?
yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
Yeah, because obviously nefarious when it's with nefarious intent, the other person that's basically pregnant kid rape, I guess. What would we call that? Unconsensual childbirth.
We call that fucking crazy. That's what I fucking call it.
Yeah,
But if
okay.
going back to what you said originally, like, oh, in the dude's mind it was safe and there's no proof or evidence, I still hold the stance that it does take two to tango. Like,
Yeah,
and
no, same.
every person should know that no matter how safe you are, there is also a 0.0001% chance. Even if you take all the morning after pills and all the contraception and all the condoms, there's still that chance that you can get pregnant from it.
Yeah, you definitely have to keep that in mind. But I mean, when
Yeah,
these
Yeah,
things
it's
are
like when
figured
you wipe
out,
down your table and there's still that 0.1% of bacteria from the Dettol.
you just did all
exactly.
again then.
Nothing's 100%.
You just use it again.
Nah, because that guy's got an immune system, bro. He's immune to Dettol.
Power
Then you use
babies.
plunkets.
Power babies.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, also I'm just saying that it'll be a bit unfair. You know, this comes out that it was nefarious from the guy or the girl's part, and then the courthouse is basically just like, well, it takes two to tango, your fault. You know, I don't think that would be
Your
fair.
fault. You did it.
No. Obviously, if evidence is shown,
Yeah,
then
if you can prove
something
it,
is
then
done.
well, then there's going to be justice to serve. But
Yeah.
without that proper evidence,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no,
Yeah,
it's
obviously.
1%.
Yeah, it's the same with rape, though. You know, it needs to be proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty, you know? It's always like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I actually rape I think is a difficult one for like abortions because rape trials can often take ages, up to a year to 2 years.
Hmm.
So rape is actually quite a difficult one because even though they slam the police report on the table and go get this fucker out of me,
Yeah.
is it true or not?
Well,
Yeah.
then you put the woman under investigation. You put her into the investigation rooms, see if she's got her story solidified. Like, because often when
Yeah.
people are trying to lie and come up with the story changes.
Yeah,
Even in
that's
the
true.
slightest, but it still changes.
Or you put but like part of the abortion process is a lie detector test.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, those are also flawed as well. So I guess it's also a
Yeah,
tool to the
no,
side.
those can be completely bullshit as well, and that seems like a way of sort of trying to do it a faster way instead of taking the time to actually analyze the situation. You've gone lie detector. Oh
Yeah.
no, yep, she's telling the truth.
Yeah, but
Instead of
also it
taking
is a
the
very
time out to
time
actually.
sensitive issue as well. You know, when cases go on, they can take ages, they can take years. But you know, you only got
Not with
9 months.
investigations, with a complete case, yeah, but the investigation takes a couple days to a week. They'll pull you into the room a couple times throughout the week, tell you to re-say your story, and they'll keep getting it from you. They've got a camera in that room that watches your attitude when there's no one in there. That's why a cop or a detective will normally leave the room to go and do something else because you've got a camera on you. And if your attitude changes or you start moving in a different way, and then when the cop comes in, you go back to what you were before, sort of thing, then
Yeah.
that's an obvious tip out that you're lying.
Yeah, or
But
you just
an
whip out the cue
investigation,
cards.
yeah,
You're just like reading it and like, am I supposed to be the one who said yeah, and then you just start like fucking rehearsing the lines and the fucking
yeah. So that's how the investigations would normally go. Now, trying to find a culprit and doing the full case, yes, that would take about a year, but that's to find a guilty person. All you're trying to do is find whether this chick is lying or not to go through with the
that's
abortion.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
And if everything checks
no.
out, then they can go through the abortion, obviously.
Yeah, and I think a lie detector test should be last resort sort of shit. So if by the end of the investigation she's still being truthful, you can't see anything, but you're still unsure about her, then try that lie detector test. And
I
if
think there
everything
should be a lie
lines up,
detector test anyway, just
Right?
for shits and gigs.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but not in the middle, near the end,
no.
at the end of everything, just to confirm or keep your suspicion. If the suspicion is kept, then I don't know, do whatever investigations do. But if it comes
Yeah.
up true and all of that shit lines up, go for it.
Yeah.
Right of
I
the
gotta
day.
Only if
Yeah,
you're really
abortion.
unsure to make a verdict.
Yeah,
Like,
go
woman
ahead.
spread her legs. The doctor's walked in and he's like, "Yeah, we're getting ready for this abortion." The cop walks in. It's like, "Hold on, lie detector test first."
But yeah, no, I'm still unsure. I don't know if she's telling the truth or not. It's like, but you signed the document. I said I'm unsure. All right, I can't sleep.
Shut
I
your legs,
wrote
girl. We're doing a lie
maybe.
detector test.
I wrote maybe in the dotted line.
Yeah,
There was
now
no
let me
maybe
do my
option.
test before I tase you and shoot you in the head 48 times.
Why? You know what? Now it's 58.
An eye for an
Back
eye.
off me. Well, no, if you're shooting someone 68 times in the fucking face, then I'm pretty sure it's an eye for the rest of your face.
And probably the ground underneath, because I doubt
Yeah,
the face
like,
could take 68 bullets.
you basically just made this guy one with the pavement.
An eye for jam.
You've made your own dog meat. Take that shit home, cook it up with your spag bowl.
Yeah,
Oh,
an eye for jam.
an eye for jam. This happens to be the one guy in the world who carries around a fucking jar of jam with him everywhere.
No, I was referring to the spread out black brains on the floor.
Wait, you
Yeah.
don't carry
It's
jam in
like
your
an
pocket all
eye
the
for
time?
jam. It's like, I got jam. Like, what? What do you mean you have jam? I have jam. I got
Strawberry
peanut butter
jam.
too. Plum jam.
Oh, plum jam.
Like, oh, no, you're dead.
Nah, no deal. No deal.
No deal. Wrong
78 times
jam.
now.
I only fuck with strawberry jam.
Coming here with your apricot jam. That's not
Oh.
even jam.
Apricot
That's
jam.
marmalade.
That's marmalade.
Apricot jam. That's not even jam. That's just bad memories.
That's just shit.
Who the fuck willingly eats marmalade?
Mama nuts.
Jam mama nuts. That shit.
Oh man, old people eat marmalade.
Old people. That's your out of the context.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah,
I
old
agree.
people.
I worked in a New World, and only old people shop at New World, and the only jams to go was marmalade.
Nice.
But it's not scientific, but I back it up.
You got reason now. You've seen it.
Oh god. All right.
I mean, we all knew it though.
Why old people live so long?
Marmalade.
Marmalade.
Marmalade and Tai Chi.
And Tai Chi.
They can't be in their own home or in their backyard. No, it has to be Tai Chi in the park.
And reminiscing about back in their day.
While they're doing it, you just see a tear roll out of their eye.
Back in my day, we had to walk to school, and then just a tear rolling down their cheek. All right.
Yeah, that's all fun and games until you get the one grandparent who's like, back in my day, your friend of that darker skin color didn't get to go to school with us. He went to school where he belonged.
In
No,
the fucking fields.
no, you just see you're just out with your black mate, and you just see your grandpa across the street, and all of a sudden he starts throwing rocks at you guys.
You guys walk into the same shop, and then he starts throwing rocks at you, yelling "wipes only."
He's sitting there like, you dirty fucking black.
And he
Go
goes,
back to your own country, which we forcibly pulled you from.
Fucking you look at him, or like your black mate looks at him, he gets all scared and pulls his phone out and rings the police.
He goes, back in my day, we didn't associate with chocolate people.
Old dudes standing across the street when you call them the cops, like, yeah, they'll be on my side. The cops are black.
They're still on his side anyway.
No, the cops come back and they're black. He's just like, what did you do with the cops? You murderers!
You murderers! I'm calling the cops!
It's illegal to impersonate an officer.
This world's gone to shit. Stupid mud cops.
Mud.
Stupid mud people.
Well, at least the gays are still oppressed. Sees two dudes holding hands. Commits suicide for a cop.
Sees two
Fuck
kids.
this marmalade shit.
Sees two fucking guys holding hands. He's like, no, you're not ruining my day even more. Picks up another rock.
Fucking sprints at the dude, doesn't even toss it, sprints at him and hits him over the head with it.
Sees two women holding hands while eating a jar of marmalade.
He's just like
himself.
He just sees two women holding hands. He's like, actually, that's alright.
I don't mind that one.
Sees them eating marmalade while doing Tai Chi. It's like, what? No!
He's like, I don't mind that one. It was pretty fun to watch people like them the first time I got access to the internet.
Those people really do how to make a
cup.
man happy.
Oh god. Okay. Do you guys have any more to add? Do you guys have any more to Do you guys have anything more to add to the topic of abortion?
Yeah, you want to fuck?
No.
Be wary. You're gonna have kids.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was a direct question.
No. Tidal, you're not my type.
You want to fuck? I'm like, no. No, I don't.
Plus, Tidal, I don't think we have to worry about having kids even if we did fuck.
Someone start playing the music.
I'm pretty sure that's not how babies are made, but I'm no scientist.
That's how AIDS babies are made. So, are you guys ready to move to the next segment? I think that was a good cover of abortion.
Well, yeah, not everyone got our opinions on everything. Fucking, if you're doing it, remember, yeah, it takes two to tango, but with the right reasoning, sort of thing. Gives the father a chance to opt out, gives the mother a chance to opt out, within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not against abortion, we're just against inequality.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you guys want to move on to earthquakes, or am I the asshole?
Brian Tamaki.
Brian Tamaki.
It's just a quick, 2-minute thing. It's just what this one knows about Brian Tamaki.
Yeah, alright. This one being Mitchell in this case. Alright, the next segment.
Feed him the information.
The next segment is what Mitchell has to say about Brian Tamaki and Wellington earthquakes. So yeah, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy his commentary. Take it away, Mitchell.
Right, fuck you, Tidal. You don't need to spoon feed the audience. So, for those of you who don't know, there were huge-ass earthquakes in Wellington in 2016. Tore down buildings, destroyed roads, made it really hard for me to leave my dad in hospital alone. because I didn't have a car. Now, why did they happen? Some say tectonic plates. Some say God is angry with us. Wise man Brian Tamaki, leader of Destiny Church. He knows the answer, and it's gays. Gays and sinners cause the earthquakes.
Wait, I gotta hear more. Well, is there anything more to this story, or is that it? Do you have any quotes?
That's it.
Do you have any quotes?
I don't have any direct quotes, but like there's videos of him online ranting about how it's all gays and sinners' fault. Mostly gay people. Not even lesbians either. It was mostly just talking about gay men.
Because he's a fucking loser. This guy's trying to make a cult, and anything he says apparently is like word of God sort of shit. Brian fucking Tamaki. Yeah, that's exactly what he thinks he is. He thinks he's a fucking prophet. And he's making his own church and his own cult and his own gated-in area that you've got to subscribe to sort of shit. And now earthquakes are gay.
Sounds lovely.
Don't subscribe to my OnlyFans. Subscribe to my Only cult.
Nice.
For the cheap price of a percentage of your earnings a week.
I think I know a quote from Brian Tamaki.
Have good technology? No.
I think I know a quote from Brian Tamaki. He said, I'm pretty sure he said, "Oi, you know those earthquakes, eh? Yeah, those were those gay guys, eh? You know those gays who get together and bend over, reach in their ass with their hand, pull it out, and eat the poo-poo. That's the ones who made the earthquakes. That's them."
Yeah, that was them. Now, your 40% of your work wage.
No, you think it was the earth shaking? No, it was that was when a man goes in another man's ass. There was a thump caused the earthquake.
Yeah, when the man went in the other man's ass, pulled the stuff out, and ate the poo-poo. That's exactly what happened. And yeah, those fellas caused the earthquake. So yeah, pay 40% of your wage to the church, and you'll get more knowledge like that, eh? Yeah.
You know, if that was the case in modern society, then fucking the world would have sunk back into space a long time ago.
Probably doesn't even need to be modern society.
Caused the earthquakes. Well, actually, yeah, Spartans were gay back in ancient Greece.
Well, not every Spartan was gay.
We would have been sunk back then.
Or was every Spartan gay?
Actually, being gay was encouraged in Sparta. You were assigned someone to be gay with. No, it was because it built camaraderie faster, apparently. You built a deeper connection so you know you could trust your fellow Spartan.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
a deeper connection. A deeper connection.
Yeah, watch as my fucking penis connects with your stomach. Deeper connection.
Oh, fucking hell.
Watch as my dick hits your guts. Fuck.
Worst thing was that it's on history that, like, on record, that a lot of Spartans left their wives for their apparent deep connectioned partner.
So what, they were supposed to have wives at the same time?
Well, yeah, because cheating wasn't really a concept back then. Because this wasn't for, like, love or sensual pleasure. This was to build camaraderie. This was so you could know you could trust your fellow Spartan.
You could trust them to fucking take you from behind every time you drop the soap. Okay.
Hey, trust is trust, my bro.
You could trust them to fuck you while you're down sort of shit.
Yeah, instead of the get up, my bro, they give you the stay down, I'm fucking you, my bro.
They give you the get dogged, my bro.
You can
trust them to backstory on that little bit, then I'll make sure to put it into one of the behind the scenes episodes.
You can trust them to always backstab you.
Yeah,
fucking
but never with a sword.
Yeah, so that ends the Brian Tamaki section. He believes that or maybe he doesn't believe. He just says, "Oh yeah, bro, there was the gays who made the earthquakes in 2016. Hey, pay me some money. Then everyone was like, whoa, Destiny's Church. And they'll pay him money, and he's like, haha, suckers. Now I'm going to buy me a Lambo. And 3
And
buckets
going
of
off
KFC. But yeah.
the last podcast, like the whole religion thing, I understand that for some people it gives a sense of hope and reason, but your reason doesn't have to cost you part of your living wage every week.
Also, your reason shouldn't be going to someone who doesn't even live in the same country as you. Brian Tamaki lives in Australia. He's got a mansion in Australia.
A match.
He only comes to New Zealand. Yeah, he doesn't use that money to have mean-ass technology for streaming for his church or build mean-ass churches. No, he uses that money to buy dumb cars and for his mansion in Aussie.
Yeah, well, I mean...
And yet you still pay 40% of your wage.
I mean, also, if he was building mean-ass churches and stuff, I'd still feel a bit uncomfortable, because it'd feel more like he's, like, building an empire. You know?
Yeah, no, man's not trying to recreate the fucking Bible, he's trying to recreate Rome.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'd still rather have my money spent on, things that have something to do with God rather than things that have something to do with Brian Tamaki's house.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole thing with churches as well. I thought churches were just for people to do religious practices. They're not really houses of God, because if God wanted a house, he could make a mean-ass house in like 2 seconds. But
Yeah, man has an omnipotent power, but relies on you to build up a house.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, you see, I just didn't have the materials, but you created the materials. Yeah, well, I got lazy, all right?
He's a fucking useless guy. Fucking useless. All right.
Fucking useless.
Created the universe and took him a nap.
Fuck.
Created the universe and realized he's a debt, so he went on the dole.
Created the universe, but didn't create him a house, so he's homeless.
King hell.
Sucking dick for money.
He pulled that
this
bad
makes us all
Monopoly
heretics,
chance
by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Why do
I
you
was
think
to
Zeus
begin
was such
with.
a hoe? He was trying to find someone who could suck his big dick better than God.
He got one of the good Monopoly chance cards. Suck dick for money, collect $15.
Collect $15.
Fuck, we gotta make Hori Monopoly. Or as people in other countries would call it, Ghetto Monopoly.
Yeah. Alright, next segment. Let's go to the next segment. Am I the arsehole? This is a fun segment. Yeah, so basically, Mitchell, people are post on this Reddit page. They're confused whether or not they're on the bad side of the situation, and so they tell their story, and we get to decide whether or not they're bad or the other person is bad. Alright? Alright, so maybe we might want to switch this up. Jade, would you like to read this then? No.
Yeah, can someone share their screen or something so I can see it?
No, you just listen and give your opinion. You don't read along.
Yeah, there's the link, Jade. You can read it.
Cool. Right, let's start with the title.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend he ruined our date? First thoughts.
Well, I mean, it depends, if he actually did ruin the fucking date, like, if he's just like, man, you know what I think about you, babe? She's like, yeah, what do you think? And he's like, you're a fat-ass bitch, and fucking slammed her fucking food off the table.
Fucking dropped the mic, slammed, fucking mic drop, walk out of the restaurant.
Nah, if man fucking like WWE style ladder slammed her head to the table and then drop kicked her, then yes, that's viable.
Right, but off just the title, what are your opinions? Title.
It really depends. I'm gonna need to know some context. I mean, obviously, if what I said was true, then no, not the asshole. But if there was just a normal date and then like, then you just go, you ruined our date, then then it's obviously not, So
and what about you, Mitchell?
Yeah, nah. If he ruined the date by having to go take a leak, then nah. But I agree with Tidal. It depends on context.
Yeah, we gotta listen to that juicy context before we can make the final verdict.
Right, let's get into it then. From the start, this is a pretty fucking long one, so this might take a bit.
Alrighty.
I, female 21, and my boyfriend, male 23, of 5 years went to my favorite restaurant a few weeks ago. The meal was great and we both really enjoyed ourselves. It was perfect. A completely perfect dinner. I paid the $60 check and we went out to the parking lot to the car. I live in a huge college town, along with that Saturday night being a senior ball, so the town was busy. We get back to the car and the cars surrounding it was parked exactly the same as they were when we went in. There were cars to each side of his car, along with the truck parallel parked behind them, at least 2 cars lengths away. In front of him was the wall of the restaurant, and behind him was the roadway and the parking lot, then the parallel parked truck at a distance to clarify. He starts to back out of the space, and after a few tries, he says he can't do it. I say instantly I can spot him so he can get out. Oh, yes, so he can get out. He says no, and that it won't help him because the truck behind him wasn't there when we pulled into the spot and he was scared of hitting it. It was there when he pulled into the spot. He also added he doesn't want others to see me spotting him like he can't handle his vehicle. I say okay. I'll go into the restaurant and find the owner of one of the cars and ask if there was any way they could move so he could get out. Didn't want to, but it was the only choice. He says no and kind of flips his shit, throwing his head and glasses into the dash in frustration and also flooring it as he's going to hit the building, then slamming on the brake before he does so. Fucking tragic.
Yeah.
He calls his parents, screaming about not being able to get out of the spot, and even locked my door when I tried to get out of the vehicle to go get someone else to help / spot him.
What the fuck?
Also, when he is on the phone, the owner of one of the neighboring cars comes outside. I tried to tell him that we talked to her, but he ignored me and kept complaining to his parents how there was no way we were getting out of the spot. The owner of the neighboring car gets in another car and leaves while my boyfriend gets off the phone and says, "Guess we're stuck." The screaming and me begging him to just let me spot him continues for 20 minutes, and he makes a few jabs that I don't have a license, so I wouldn't understand how he feels. At that point, I was really upset and in tears. I had just taken him out to dinner and spent a pretty good amount of money for him to show his ass. Finally, he lets me out of the car to spot him, and within 2 minutes, we were out of the spot. Later that night, I told him that he ruined the night and the dinner I paid for absolutely no reason. I also added that he always has to find a way to destroy any date or thing in general I want to do just because it's not something he picks. He said that what happened was my fault because I should have not spoken to him because it made him more frustrated when he was trying to find a solution to the problem, in quotation marks. Am I the asshole here?
I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I'm gonna say she's
not.
Yeah,
Nah, straight up.
I'm going out on a limb and saying nah.
Like, this motherfucker, being too prideful and sucking at driving, couldn't pull out of the fucking car park.
It sounds like some sexist shit as well. He's like, no, people can't see my wife helping me. I'm a man. Beating on his fucking chest. Like, what the fuck?
Fucking straight up.
And she paid for his meal
I
anyway.
have too much testosterone.
Obviously not that prideful because man called his parents screaming.
No,
he's like, I'm a man, you can't do this. Mummy, Daddy, there's a truck parked behind me.
What a fucking loser.
How low do you have to get to ring your fucking parents and cry that you can't get out of a fucking car park?
Even though your fucking girlfriend who just bought you dinner was gonna help you out. But then you're like, no, I can't do that. I'm the hero of the story. And then you have to go to mummy. and fucking go,
Yeah, I don't know where
"Mommy!"
that fucking pride came from either.
I know,
Because
right?
normally the male pays in that situation when it comes to restaurants, like just chucking that out there,
Yeah.
and then he turns all fucking sexist when she wants to get out and spot him.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like it's such a dig on his fucking pride.
And he says,
If you need help to get out of a fucking car park, you shouldn't be in a vehicle.
like, even if you are one of those people who are like super, oh, the guy has to do all the hard work, like, the guy would have paid, right? And then I don't think even those guys are gonna be like, no, you can't spot me. Do you think? I don't even
I
think
don't
so.
think they would go and cry to fucking mummy about it anyway.
I reckon those types of guys would just attempt it and then crash. To be honest.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Like, I know the fuck that I would fucking be like, no, we're getting out of this parking spot and fucking crash before I fucking called mum and dad.
Yeah, you
Fucking
crash the
hell,
car,
like, how
and
tragic.
then you call mum and dad and say, "Mummy, I did something wrong."
I crashed the car.
Or you hit it with the, hey mum, you know how I love you. You pay for my car to get fixed.
Can I also address this man is 23 and he's crying to his fucking parents
About
Can
something
I
that's
also
not even that
bring up the
bad.
fact? Can I also bring up the fact
Yeah.
that it is her fault? It is her fault that he called his parents screaming because she asked the very polite question, do you want me to spot you?
Like, what the fuck,
What
man?
a fucking joke.
What a fucking asshole, joke, pussy, bitch ass looking ass, evil bitch dickhead looking ass. No, yeah, definitely
Ugly
not the
ass. Fucking,
asshole. Not the fucking
yeah,
asshole.
not the
Bitch
asshole.
is not
Your
the
fucking
asshole.
boyfriend's a dick.
The only
What could mean anything though? It didn't mean that she had to like drive for him. She could have just gotten out and be like, "Oh no, back up! You got plenty of room." Like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
what
ashamed to have
spotting
someone
is.
do that.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's
definition
it.
of spotting somebody.
She didn't say,
I
okay,
know that
give me
some
the wheel, you useless cunt. You know, then she'd be a bit of an asshole, you know? She's like, okay, you fucking useless guy, then give me the bloody wheel then. Then I would kind of understand the guy, but I just can't.
No,
You know?
yeah, no, that's just so one-sided. It's like, bro, put your fucking pride aside and let her spot the fucking car.
He ended up fucking having to
Yeah,
let her
okay,
spot
she
it
doesn't have a
anyway.
license. That doesn't mean that you need a license to see if a car can get out of a fucking parking space.
like even blind people can spot. They just stand in front of the fucking vehicle, and if you hit them, they go, "Nah, you're too close."
Yeah, like, no, wait. No.
No, they don't go, nah. They go, ah! My leg!
Oh!
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 Then you
You've
know you
backed
went a
up
bit
too
too
far.
far. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
one
who the
caveat.
fuck is too prideful to let someone fucking spot them? Like
Even my
some of them.
father. Okay, bit of backstory on this. My father's been driving trucks for most of his fucking life. And even me and Mitchell have had to spot him down driveways.
Yeah, so
Even
like,
even my fucking stepdad Reese, who was like the most prideful man I've ever met, man pulled out his own tooth when he had a toothache with a pair of pliers and a beer. But
what
yet
the
even he's
fuck?
like, "Oh, can you get out? So can you spot me?"
Yeah, like, what is
Exactly.
up with this
How can
guy's
you be
pride?
that fucking prideful? Come on, man.
But not prideful enough to pay for the meal.
Or not prideful enough to not call your parents screaming.
Yeah.
And then you have the audacity at the end to say, you shouldn't have talked to me. Then I got frustrated.
For being
It's like,
polite.
what the?
For
Oh,
offering
yeah,
to
no, you
help
shouldn't have given
out.
me a solution and tried to help after you paid for dinner. Get fucked.
Yeah, how
Okay.
dare you do a nice thing for me and then once again, try to do a nice thing for me. You bitch.
Two rights make a wrong. Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows this.
I'll add one
Fucking
caveat.
hell, stupid bitch.
She's, of course, definitely not the asshole regardless, even with this caveat, but she did say that he always finds a way to always ruin her date. If this was the first time, I don't think that sentence was justified, but she's still not the asshole. because that
Even-
would count as overreacting, but, when it comes to overreacting, obviously the guy in the situation is the drama queen, is the overreacting epicenter of the issue, isn't he? So you kind of got to forgive her.
Even if it was the first time he'd ever done anything like that, I still think that was an overreaction on her part, because Jesus Christ, he packed a fucking tanty, threw his shit at the dash.
Yeah, I'm saying, I'm
called
just
his
trying to
parents
be fair.
screaming.
I'm trying to be completely fair. Obviously, the guy has fucking, like, what the fuck? What's wrong with this? He's got mental issues. But,
Right, this isn't about being fair. This is about being judgmental.
Yeah, but well, whatever. I'm just saying that little sentence, maybe you didn't have to say that, but even, like, if he takes that bad now, he's already way too far in the wrong for your little tiny, like, okay, let's put this into perspective. The girl, right? She's done a bit of littering, right? She's littered once. She left a chips bag on next to the bench at the park one time, right? And the police officer saw her and went like, okay, that's a $5 fine. Now the guy, in comparison to that, he's basically done what Adolf Hitler did. So like that's basically the difference.
Thing.
Yeah.
But like, it's like you tried to find a pinpoint just to give him, something. I just think that this guy was acting like trash.
The guy was acting like complete trash. She's scot-free, but I'm just saying, if you say that to someone who's not like that, then obviously you may end up being the asshole. But in this situation, 100% not.
Yeah, no. Yeah, not the asshole.
It'll just help someone.
Final judgment.
If she's watching, I hope you got a better guy, or you're happy being single, or he's gotten better. If you end up watching this podcast, you might not, but if you do, that's my message to you.
If he has gotten better, give him a sledgehammer to the knees anyway, just to be sure.
Fucking hell.
Right.
All right.
Let's move on.
All right. Who wants to read this? This one sounds pretty juicy. It's got something to do with culture and stuff. Should we get the guest star to read this one? Or do you want to read it again, Jade?
I'll read it again. We'll get him to read the last one.
Yeah, okay, sweet.
I will warn you, though, I read fast. I don't mean to, but I read very fucking fast.
Try not to, because, you got to read it out loud. So that might slow you down, so you're not as much just like... So... Yeah, okay, I've sent it. You got
Shut up, no! Yeah, no, I'm on it now. Right. Let me get your first opinions.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for moving out after my mum tried to sell me into an arranged marriage? Mitchell.
Oh, there's definitely an opinion formulated already. I would love to know some context, but nah.
I'm gonna take a really big risky shot into the dark and also say, fuck no. What the fuck? Sell you off into arranged marriage? No, you're not the fucking
risky
asshole.
Opinion there, Tidal. The fact, it wasn't even set me up in an arranged marriage. No, it was sell me to an arranged marriage.
Yeah. Right, let's get some context on this then.
Alrighty.
This one's not as long, I don't think, just by looking at it.
Alrighty.
So, right. I just turned 18, female, 2 weeks ago, and when I got back from the DMV to get my ID, I have to wait a bit, so I didn't get it. My mum was packing my things, and I asked what she was doing, and she told me, that she was getting my things ready for after the wedding. What wedding? She told me that I have been engaged since December to a 24-year-old guy.
What the fuck?
I told her absolutely not and went to my room to think. She came in to show me a picture and the next text of her approving the engagement. What? The guy was good looking, but I'm not interested right now. My mum has always wanted me to be married so could start shooting kids out as soon as the ring was in my finger. We're not even close to the end of this yet, and I've already got my opinion.
Yeah, me too. I want to see how it ends though, and everything. Still, nevertheless.
I was engaged, quotation marks, before at 16, but that was shut down quickly, and I never gave it much thought. So this ain't the first time.
Even in this country.
Now that I have told my mum that I'm not marrying him, she keeps crying and telling me to reconsider because she already accepted the money and spent it.
What the fuck?
Sounds like
Fucking,
Anikiri.
this is like human trafficking, bro. This is like Jeffrey Epstein shit.
Yo, right.
Orgy Island crap, bro.
No, that just sounds like something my auntie would do.
Moving on.
Yeah.
I still told her no, and she would disown me if I didn't. So I said, all right, and continued packing the bags she started, and she got happy thinking I was still packing to move after the wedding. But I told her, no, I'm moving out. She cries and leaves the house.
What an epic move, bro. What an epic move. That's just epic, bro. What a mean-ass move.
Oh, yeah, so you're going to get along with the wedding? Nah, I'm fucking leaving.
He's just like packing her bags already. He's like, "What you doing? What are you doing?" "Oh, yeah, I'm packing your bags for the wedding." He's like, "Oh, yeah, good idea. I should move. But not do your fucking
I
wedding."
should move out.
I should move
That
out,
was
you
such a good
fucking
move.
mental patient. Fucking
Nah,
human
see,
trafficking.
I would have gone along for the with the wedding, but just not arrived. Told my mum, "Oh yeah, meet me at the reservation. I'll be there at this time," and then just move out. Then leave
Yeah,
her mum
move
just
to a different
staying
country.
there.
Fucking hell.
Right.
Okay, continue, Jade.
Yeah. I've had a job working in Delhi, so I have enough to just move with my friend with my next paycheck. Or paycheck. My other friend and extended family are calling me a shame, but I'm getting real good at not giving a fuck.
Oh my god.
Anyways, the wedding is tomorrow, but I'm not going. Yeah, but I'm so not going. Oop, as I'm trying this, my family is saying they will come drag me if they have to. I just think it's really shitty to engage me without my knowledge for 4 months and tell me a few days before the wedding thinking I will go along. I'm only here because my aunt, who I adore and value, her opinion is saying I should just do it. Am I the asshole? Because it could be a happy marriage and I'm just being difficult. If extra info is needed, just say so. Judge away. Sorry for the spelling and grammar. And there's an edit here.
Should we leave the edits till after?
It's a pretty long. Oh no, there's 2 edits. Yeah, might as well. Opinions.
Alright, no, not the asshole. Actually, frickin' saint for refusing that. What the fuck? What? I hate this sort of fucking cultural bullshit. This is some of the shit that I fucking hate that like really intertwines with some religions. This is why this is like one of the fucking atheist fuels that I have. Is just like, if there's a god, how would they allow shit like this? Like, are you serious? Your family, the people you're supposed to trust, selling you like you're a fucking sex slave? Are you joking? It's a joke. It's a joke.
I understand arranged marriages to a point.
I don't.
Like in the Big Bang Theory, it's like Raj couldn't find love, so he was like, "Mum, Dad, can you set me up with an arranged marriage?"
Okay,
That
yeah,
sort
okay.
of thing, I get. You
Yeah,
know,
but what about the woman? Does the woman get a say? Is the woman also
Yeah,
lonely,
no,
or is it just like Raj said that he couldn't find anyone, so now a woman has to suck his dick? Like, then I'm like, no.
Well, in both times, the woman was lonely, but the first one Raj was set up with was a lesbian who just wanted to use the marriage as a cover.
Ah, yeah.
But
Okay.
that Big Bang Theory is not what we're discussing.
Yeah,
But no, arranged marriage and selling your children, I think, are 2 different things.
Yeah,
If
any
you're setting your
forceful
child
stuff.
up, yeah, that's matchmaker. But if you're selling your child, nah.
Nah.
Yeah,
No
like
deal.
if you completely did not have their input and then just did it for fucking money, like if there was no cultural thing there, which wouldn't really make it that much better, but it's still better than what you did. Like just selling the chick to another dude without telling her until like a couple days before, or just doing it in general, that's fucked up.
Any sort of, even if it's cultural, you shouldn't never sell fucking a human being. A human being has their own thoughts, emotions, goals, and what they want in a relationship. I don't give a fuck what your religion is. You cannot sell your kids to another person. The parents should literally go to jail. For even attempting that, the parents should go to jail. You can't accept money
Yep, no,
for the
because that's
life of your
fucking.
child. That's sex trafficking. It sounds like
And
she
the
was
fact,
living in India because you said that she was like moving to Delhi or she was working in Delhi or was she working
in
in
She
a
was
Delhi.
working
Delhi?
in a deli.
Okay, so not
A
in
deli.
Delhi, not in Delhi in India. Because if it was in India, then I
I
don't know
don't
what the
think
laws
so,
are.
but there were also a lot of grammar mistakes and stuff. But she talks like she's not from there. But like, I have no idea. It doesn't say.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is a
Well,
part of the world that is really prevalent in terms of arranged marriages, like
Yeah,
India and the Middle East. So, yeah, I know. Like, fucking arranged marriages is the most backwards, it's the most, like, barbaric, sexist shit ever. Like, women aren't fucking property.
especially
How can you not
if we go
understand
back
that? How can people
and
not
she said,
understand
yeah,
that?
because I can sell property
Yeah.
and nobody will bat an eye.
she said that she just turned 18 2 weeks ago. She was engaged at 17. She was engaged 4 months ago without her knowing. In most countries, a good chunk of countries in the world, that's illegal.
Yeah.
And
Not
this is the
mention,
second time they've done this because she
yeah,
was engaged at 16 as well.
which is illegal even in this country. Like, we have pretty loose sex laws. You're allowed to fuck at 16 compared to most other countries where it's 18. But engaged before even our legal age, that's weird.
Yeah, no, I completely disagree with it. Any culture that includes arranged marriages, I do not respect at all. I
Yeah.
fucking hate that. It's just it's actual real sexism in modern day, and feminists never
I
talk
also
about it.
hate the fact. I also hate the fact that her mother accepted and had already spent the money before telling her.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like fucking even if she was property, that's still shitty. You know? She's
Yeah,
not property. You would like if you're watching this, you are not property. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with your family. Do not go and
but
get
like
married.
even
If you do get married, you are the asshole. If you
So
don't
if you
get
property,
married,
but
you're
you're
a
not
saint.
property.
You are not property. Don't
but
let your
even with
fucking
property in
anyone
that
treat you like
situation,
property.
let's say someone put a deposit on the property and then opted out in the end and didn't want to buy it anymore. Well, you suddenly can't get your money back because the person that you gave it to has already spent it. It's already gone.
Yeah, what the oh my god. Humans are not property. I would actually report your parents to the fucking police if I were you. You're a saint if you don't get married. If you do get married and go along with it, you're perpetuating this fucking bullshit tradition that is super
Well,
sexist
I
and ruins
assume
heaps of
that
people's lives. So you're then, if you get
if this
married, you're the
isn't India,
asshole. I don't care
if
where
this
the fuck
isn't
it is.
India, the police no, but you said police.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
a
true.
cultural thing,
Yeah.
so the police aren't going to get involved in that.
If
Unless
it's
it's not a cultural thing.
Well, she sold her. And I don't care what if it's a cultural thing or not. If you go and murder people and say, "Oh, bro, it's just my culture," the police are still going to put you in jail in most first world countries. So if she's in most first world countries, someone trying to sell someone, no, they need to go to jail. That whole family needs to go to jail.
Actually,
Oh,
actually, when it comes to culture, especially in countries like America and most of Europe, it's actually really dicey. Like, you can go to a third world country, marry a 12-year-old, bring her back to like America or wherever you live, and then get her pregnant. It's not illegal because it's cultural.
I don't know.
So
I think even
50-year-olds can
then,
marry 12-year-olds and
I
then
think
fuck them in that country. They're still allowed to do it because it's
I don't.
cultural.
I think
It's
they
fucking
shouldn't.
disgusting.
I disagree with that completely. I don't think that should ever be the
I
case.
agree.
You
yeah,
agree
no,
with
so do
me?
I.
I
Or do
agree.
you agree with the
Yeah,
fact that
Yes.
it's legal?
I
Yeah,
never said I agree with the fact that it's legal. I'm
you
just
agree with
making it known
me.
that it is legal.
Yeah, okay.
I agree with you. It's
Yeah, okay.
fucking
Because you said I
disgusting.
agree.
Oh,
Fucking hate
y'all
that
ready
shit.
for the edits?
Yeah,
Oh, you've
okay.
already read them,
Yeah,
yo.
let's go on the edits.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Sorry, it looks like I'm getting married in the next 6 hours if I can't convince them. Thanks, everyone. Don't feel bad for me. I'm going to have a positive outlook on this. I will update in either a few hours or a few days.
No, I'm sad,
Edit
man. I'm
2.
sad.
Yeah, that's the first edit. Right, next edit. Some guy is saying that this is me copying an Indian drama or something, but I'm not. Also, yes, I do struggle with mental health, but for everything in this world, I am not lying. I deleted my posts because every time I tell someone my problem, they don't take me serious.
What?
Once they find out I have problems with mental health.
What?
Also, I am not Asian or Indian. I am black. My parents and family are Indian. Ah.
What?
Okay.
What? As soon as they find out that she has mental health issues, they don't take her serious. Are you sure? Why do you think she has fucking mental health issues when you're trying to sell her like fucking property? Are you That's a fucking
I'm not
joke.
done. Please leave your opinions to the end.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I am adopted. Yes, that happens sometimes. Ouch. Also, my mum wants me married before the good Indian men stop accepting fat black women. Paraphrased. And in big quotation marks.
What?
My mum was not abusive before this. She is suddenly very weird and mean for some reason. Also, the reason I was not taking it serious is because me and my mum were just talking about plans that have nothing to do with marriage. I think she just agreed for the money and then forgot she had hold her end, which was having me marry their son.
What the fuck, bro?
Well, obviously, I think we all agree she is nowhere near the arsehole.
Nowhere near. I'm gonna go on
and
a limb.
the
I'm gonna
fact
say
that she's not Indian and she's not from one of those cultures, but the parents are, just sort of blew my fucking mind. And she's adopted.
And the mum says
And the
before
fact, like,
Indians.
they never told her this. Like, obviously she's not brought up in the culture. She's an adopted black girl, and they obviously never told her that she is to get married as part of their culture. Is one, a bad thing in itself, and two, a worse thing in itself, and three, what the fuck?
Yeah.
My fucking god, this is a hell of a situation.
I love how they're saying, "Oh, you got to do it now, otherwise they're not going to accept fat, ugly, disgusting black girls anymore. Those lovely, nice Indian men who want to buy you like a fucking sex slave, by the way. They're so nice."
Well, no, their parents. Their parents want to buy.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that the guy gets more bloody say, though. I'm guessing the guy gets to go on a fucking website and be like, "Oh, this girl looks nice," and fucking buy them like they're bloody fucking objects. Like, what the fuck? Like, are you joking, bro? What the? I don't care what they. I don't care how straightforward they were. I don't care how straightforward they were. You cannot sell a human, no matter any circumstances, no ifs, ands, or buts. There is literally no nuance to this. If you sell a human being who is alive, that's no. You can't do that.
Selling dead human beings isn't any better, though.
No, you're not allowed.
No, but I mean, you can donate your body to science and stuff like that, I guess. But I mean, that's also your own choice.
Your body to science, though.
Yeah, but I mean, what if a kid dies? Maybe the parents can donate their body to science, and that's a whole nother issue. But a living human can never be donated, never be sold. They are not property. They make their own fucking decisions. Especially when you're 18. You make your own decisions. You cannot sell a fucking human being. Are you these fucking parents and the parents of the fucking dude, of the Indian dude, need to go to jail. That's my standpoint.
And the fact that they're shaming her, like, get married before the good Indian men stop accepting fat black women. Now, I'm neither a good man nor Indian, but
even I know you crossed the fucking line.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't got to go for a good Indian man. Like, fat black woman, show up at my house. I'll marry you.
I just want that compassion,
I just want some of that loving. Just because you're fat doesn't mean you're fat. It means you got more to cuddle.
I bet you she's not even fat too. I bet you she's like
Oh, most
slightly,
likely.
she's
No,
slightly
I'm
bigger.
willing to bet that she's quite fucking, curvy.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet she's like she's like curvy, and it's like in the good way, like the hourglass figure, and they're all like, oh, well, you do not look like an Indian, so therefore you are a big, fat, ugly, fat bitch. Like, what the
Yeah, she
fuck,
works in a
bro?
deli. Do you
What,
guys
Are
know
you
dude,
any
sorry?
obese people who
bro?
work in a deli?
And people wonder why fucking racism exists. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you joking? Try and sell women off because it's your
Just to
fucking
clarify,
culture.
we don't have any racism towards Indians. It's just this whole situation.
Unless you
Yeah,
consider
got us pulling out the Indian accent.
if you
I'm bloody-blooded.
oh, you bloody motherfucker, let me buy your daughter now. I am a nice
Let me my
Indian
black
man.
daughter.
This sounds like
One,
incels. This literally sounds like
one
incels.
black curry babies.
This sounds like bloody incels when they try and pick up a girl and the girl rejects them and then oh, well, I was really nice and awesome anyways, but you're just a big fat bitch. What the fuck? Except now it's an Indian guy. It's like except now it's an Indian guy going, let me buy your bloody daughter. Otherwise she's a big fat African American bitch. Like, are you joking?
I'm a nice
I'm not
guy,
racist.
you filthy slut. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
I'm not racist, but if you consider me saying that fucking the selling people or not selling people because it's my culture, it's an arranged marriage. No, it's a fucking sale. It's a fucking sale. It's an auction. It's an auction or a sale.
I think there is a difference.
There's no
There's a difference between an arranged marriage. No. There's a difference between an arranged marriage and what is happening here. At least in my mind, an arranged marriage is pretty much playing matchmaker with your child. At least that's how it should be. It's like, hey, that guy looks nice. You want to marry him? Nope. That guy looks nice. You want to marry him? That's an arranged marriage, at least in my mind, or at least how it should be. If you want to do an arranged marriage, but this is not what I think an arranged marriage is or should be in any way, shape, or form. This is an auction.
No, yeah. I think an arranged marriage is an optional thing that should never be brought up to a kid. It should be brought up when someone's 18. Hey, do you want us to arrange a marriage for you so you can definitely have a 100% chance of finding someone, or do you want to do it yourself? And if there's any sort of influence, no, I don't agree with it. Fuck, if you start trying to brainwash them from being a kid, being an arranged marriage is how God wants it and blah, 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 blah. And then when it's oh, but you can also be the dirty scum who looks for their own person who's a mutt and not purebred, nice Indian fellow. What?
Yeah,
no, you
can even be a filthy black slut who wants to find her own respectable man that she loves.
You can't do a stigma either. If you do any sort of stigma, you're also basically selling your child. This is a sale. I don't care what you call it. I hate that culture. If you think I'm racist for hating that culture because brown people are a part of the culture, then I'm fucking racist. I'm willing to take that title for this fucking
I don't hate
issue.
the culture.
You fucking racist. You're fucking racist.
I hate that fucking culture. If a culture involves selling people, I hate it.
Yeah, no, see, I hate this part of the culture. Again, there is a part of it, at least I believe there's a part of it, that it's playing matchmaker with your child. But if you're playing matchmaker for your child, then no, I completely agree with you. But every Indian, not every Indian who has arranged marriages is that. So saying you hate their culture is like me saying I hate black people because they like collard greens.
Well, that's not true because race and culture have nothing to do with each other. People in a certain area follow a certain culture, but the color of your skin or where you're from, you can be an atheist, whatever. You don't have to be in an arranged marriage. You could disagree with it and be Indian or wherever people do arranged marriages. That's why I say I hate the culture, but I don't hate the race. That's what I'm saying.
There are also other races and cultures who do arranged marriages. So now
Yeah.
you're only outing Indians. Taiwanese people do it too.
Well, yeah, I don't agree with it
No,
there.
he
What do you
said
mean?
that he hated the culture in general. So that's the culture surrounding the whole arranged
Yeah,
marriage.
no,
Yeah.
I just got that as you started your sentence. I got that he meant the culture of
I didn't
arranged
mean about
marriages, not
fucking-
the culture of Indian.
I didn't say, well, fucking these bloody Indians with bloody their butter chicken and their fucking naan bread and their
Hey,
fucking
Fuck
people
you,
sale.
white man.
You know, like, I wasn't like that. I
Butter
love
chicken's
butter
a
chicken,
white
bro.
man food.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever.
Butter
You know,
chicken
this
was made
this
for
was
We
a
did not
stupid.
invent butter chicken, white man. That was for you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just hate
Because you
I
take
just
our
hate
land
people
and our
saying
women, and now you're blaming butter chicken on us.
it's not a blaming thing. I would be proud to be the people who made butter chicken.
You
It's
would
a
be because you're white.
It's a fucking
was made
delicious
for you.
dish. All right.
It was made for us, Tidal.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, let's
Next one.
final opinions. She's not the asshole.
No, not the arsehole.
And if you are
100%
watching
not.
this, we fucking back you on your first decision. And that's about it. Every other decision after that, it was like, no.
Well, I
And
back
anyone
you
who
on
believes-
I back her on every decision except for the decisions that go with what they want to do. Like you moving out,
Mhm.
saying
Yeah,
you're
no,
moving
straight
out,
up.
you trying to avoid them, you trying to convince them at the end. Because I mean, she probably didn't decide to go there because they did say that they would drag her to the wedding. So I think they could have. So that's another charge that the
But
police need to put them in jail for.
even if she did decide to go to the wedding, I still don't blame her because being an adopted kid, this is the only family she knows. She knows the feeling
Yeah.
of rejection. She has mental health problems.
Yeah,
She
no,
wants to
yeah.
impress her family.
Yeah,
So
that's
even if she did choose to go along with it, it's still not her fault. And
I
if
Yeah.
you
do
believe
hate.
she's the asshole, you can meet me outside and I'll fucking stab you.
Yeah, no.
Take a sledgehammer to
don't-
your knees.
The one thing I don't like about this is she's trying to look for positives in it. Like, I understand you're doing that for your mental stability and you're hoping that there's a good side. But if you've got to look for a positive thing and an action that you're about to take, then you probably shouldn't be taking that action in the first place. But I understand that you probably didn't have a choice.
We completely
Yeah.
understand you. I'm just saying, please push back on this because it needs to change. This has no place in any society. Like a modern society, of
And-
course not, but I don't hate when people say that because rape and pedophilia and racism and stuff doesn't belong in any society. It doesn't matter if it was 100 years ago.
No.
It doesn't mean, oh, it's fine because
doesn't-
it's the 1970s. No, it's not fucking fine.
And it
Okay.
doesn't matter if it's your fucking culture. There are laws and morals for a reason.
I wouldn't
You
trust
shouldn't
laws.
get 12-year-olds pregnant, and you shouldn't buy wives if they don't consent to it.
I think it's morals, not laws. You can't use laws because a lot of places it's legal to do these things. So laws,
No,
not
sorry, when I
laws, it's
say
morals.
laws was a bad choice.
Yeah.
It's also it also should be look at the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Yeah,
One of the first is humans have a right to choose.
yeah, exactly.
And everyone knows that you can't, this girl doesn't have a choice, and even like the girls who deal with like being 12 and sold to 50-year-olds to get pregnant, they're not old enough to make a choice.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So human rights, like, doesn't matter about your culture. Human rights need to be taken into consideration.
Human
I
rights
don't
is
give
top
a fuck
priority.
if it's your culture to fuck 9-year-olds. You do that shit in my country, I'll shoot you dead.
Yeah.
Right, let's keep this for another time because I do want to talk more in a different podcast about human rights.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yes,
another topic
I
to
agree.
add to the list. Yeah, so let's move on to the next. Am
We'll
I the
just jump
arsehole?
back we'll jump into the last one.
Yeah, awesome.
All right.
I've sent the link, so Mitchell, you can get into it. It's the
Yeah, I'm already on it.
Yeah, you're on it. Okay, sweet. And just read that out for us. Start with
First,
the
the title.
headline,
Am
obviously.
Yeah,
okay.
I know the format title. Am I the asshole for wanting to kick my boyfriend's siblings out of the house? I think this is another context one, but what do you think, title?
I'm going to say it has to depend on context. If the siblings were doing stuff like stealing from like her all the time or doing something like that, then she's justified. If she just does it because she doesn't like the way his brother looks because he's got a fucked up nose, then no, I don't agree.
And what about you, Jade?
Well, see, I have a different perspective on this because it depends. If it's their house, then I don't think she's an asshole, solely because I lived with Mitchell for like a year or two, and that, like, I would have had no quarrels with kicking you out, sort of stuff. Like, having someone else there that it makes the atmosphere different. And being by myself, to me, is great. I like my having space and personal space, sort of thing. I wouldn't just kick you out because you looked ugly. But if I got the chance to, where I could have booted you out of the fucking house, or you would have moved out and you would have been stable and not in any sort of trouble, sort of shit, then yes, I would have kicked you out of the house.
Yeah, okay,
As
that's fair.
someone who had, well, not me personally, my auntie lived with my family for a while and is a cunt. I agree with with what you're saying, Yui, especially with this. Like, at this point, I don't think they're the asshole, because especially if it's their house, their space,
Yeah,
like, fucking, and you shouldn't have to have a reason for kicking someone out of your house, like, in my
that's
opinion,
true.
because
Yeah.
it's your house, it's your space.
It's your space.
Yeah, I'll add a
If
caveat.
they've overstayed their welcome, then that's on them.
I'll
Let's not get
say a
too into
caveat.
it.
If the couple together decided and said to them, "Oh yeah, we'll help you until you're back up on your feet or something," and then it's been like 2 days and she's like, "Oh yeah, now you've got to get out," then obviously
Then
they're the
yeah, no, I
arsehole.
think
She's the
that's a
arsehole.
yeah,
Yeah, because they
that's a
promised
whole
something.
different that's a different situation.
They
Yeah,
promised
2
something.
hours
I
in, it's like, all right, well, that was fun. You can move out now.
Yeah, like imagine if you came to live with me at my auntie's house, and like after we got back from school, you started walking back, and I was like, "Where are you going?" No,
Home is that way for you.
you don't fucking live here anymore.
Wait, actually, I was homeless at the time. But home is that park bench for you.
You're not coming back with me.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Well,
right,
let's continue.
Yeah,
let's get some context. I, female 23, and my boyfriend, male 24, I have been living together in a tiny 2-bedroom apartment since we graduated from undergrad. A few months ago, his brother, 14M, came to live with us, and he is a nightmare to deal with. I know that my boyfriend has a difficult home life ever since we were teens, and he stayed at my home often because his home wasn't a safe space. So I was very understanding when he wanted to take his brother in. We only had 3 ground rules of things that he couldn't do. 1, not enter our room / always knock if he wants something. 2, no smoking or drinking. And 3, come home at 11 p.m. or let any of us know where he is if he's not back by then. I'm going to halt it there and say, do we think those rules are shit or unreasonable?
I think the first two are definitely reasonable.
11 p.m. because he's fucking 14.
I mean, to be fair, when we were 14, we could have fucking stayed out till 3 in the morning, especially in Wellington.
Wait,
Yeah,
he's
but
14.
if I'm
Okay.
taking it from, like, if I was a parent, I don't think, like, even if he didn't tell me, I'd need to know before then where you are and what you're doing. Like, once you tell me that, I'll let you be until, like, yeah, about 11 o'clock, in which case I'm going to start getting a bit,
Yeah.
you know,
With a
worried.
14-year-old,
I mean-
definitely.
I mean-
yeah.
My mum was similar, but if I wasn't home by like 6, she'll be like, "Oi, where are you?"
Yeah,
So I definitely agree with that. Like, either let them know where you are or be home by 11. I think 11 is too late. Be home by fucking 9 or let them know where you are.
Yeah, that's fair. I think those rules are fair. Especially the smoking and drinking. Hell no, you're gonna let someone in and then they just start fucking smoking the place up like it's a fucking chimney, bro.
Especially if they're 14.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, you
I
shouldn't
wasn't
be
even
doing that
vaping
at 14.
when I was 14 or smoking.
Yeah, even if they're fucking
Um,
25, I think it's still reasonable to say that they shouldn't come there drunk and fucking smoke out the place. You know, especially if the
you know,
couple that
you're
allowed them
14
in
bringing
weren't
your like
smokers. Or like,
25-year-old mate home.
yeah.
Like, who the fuck's this guy? Oh, this is Chad. Hey, my name's Chad, and I smoke and drink in other people's houses.
Yeah, so we're off to go rip bongs in my room and listen to very heavy bass music very loudly.
Wait. How old is this guy? 25. What do you mean you're 25?
You look like 50.
That's because of the lack of my teeth from my crack phase.
When was your crack phase? 2 weeks ago?
Yesterday.
This morning?
30 minutes. 30 minutes sober, going strong.
When was your crack phase? Oh, I did some crack before we came in. Yeah, I'm like 2 minutes sober.
And I'm going hard.
Okay.
Don't worry, I don't have crack on me. Your brother
Next
does.
part.
Yeah, next let's get more context.
Once we got him settled in, everything was going relatively okay. I even enjoyed having his little brother over until he started acting out. At first, it was just us breaking his curfew without letting us know his location. He'd come home at 2, 3 a.m., and when his brother asked where he was, he snapped, slammed his door shut, and wouldn't leave the room. If he's at home, he's blaring music. We're both college students, and I'm taking 5 classes this year. I can't study when I have to constantly listen to loud music. He makes a mess everywhere he goes. He smokes weed even though we both forbade it. And now our home constantly reeks. He constantly trying to provoke us. It got out of hand, so my boyfriend confronted his brother and decided to ground him. His brother freaked out and destroyed the entire kitchen before he even knew what his punishment was.
What?
I think he assumed we would ban him from eating. Well,
What?
no one could ban me from eating. All right. My boyfriend ended taking his brother on a walk. After that whole tantrum, got at least 2 hours. They came back and his brother was calm and apologized for the mess. Honestly, I think I ended up crying. BF ended up saying that his brother is a work in progress and he just wants to be there. Fine, whatever. But I was still constantly worried about his brother, that it affected my grades and work. In fact, it was a huge impact on both of us. Things, however, got better for a little while until he threw a house party while we were gone. We came home to the house obliterated. My bedroom door was opened, and it has all my sentimental jewelry. The necklace my grandmother gave me before she passed was gone. I simply could not do it anymore. I wanted him gone. I told my boyfriend that I would come home after the weekend, and his brother better be out of my sight. Boyfriend called me multiple times over the weekend about how his brother didn't have anywhere to go and to give him some time. I refused. Either I go or his brother stays. Now I'm staying at my dad's house while everything gets sorted out. I don't know if I'm in the wrong. I know his brother needs help and a safe space, but I don't think we can handle a 14-year-old boy like that. He needs an intervention, not 2 students working part-time and studying 24/7.
Well, I agree. She's not the asshole.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with her.
Nah,
Fucking dickhead
totally.
guy needs a fucking safe space. They're gonna, like, they agreed, said, oh, pretty much gave him an indefinite timeline that he can stay there, basically be their child, right? And then he just fucking spits in their face. You know, destroys their kitchen.
I understand he's 14 years old. Like, even when I was in my younger years, which I'll probably go into detail more on the behind the scenes part, but I used to throw rocks at cars and stuff, and I wasn't the best child. I had anger stuff when I went into intermediate, got into fights. I wasn't the best child. And I understand that that kid needs time, but like hell, it's their problem.
Yeah, it's definitely not their problem. They did something nice, gave him a safe space, and he basically just threw it in their face. So, no, you get what you fucking deserve.
I think that kid needs fucking help. Like, obviously there are fucking places in America, like, I'm not saying chuck them in a home or something. What I am saying is get social services involved, because they're only 10, well, there's only 9 or 10 years older than them. They're trying to study, pay for their place, create lives for themselves, and then this little cunt face is coming in and destroying everything.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I was
That's
bad
not cool.
when I was 14. Like, I came from an abusive household. I got kicked out of my father's house when I was 13. But I never could dream of doing shit like this.
Yeah, to someone who actually offers you a chance in a home, then you fuck up their shit? Like, what the fuck is that, man? Gotta be joking.
You're like,
Mhm.
okay. The whole thing that's going to backlash on this is that it's a kid. And I understand what kids can be like. But you've also got to understand that these students aren't fully grown yet. They're not ready for this.
Yeah.
And I know that his brother took him on, told him that he could stay, and took him on board.
Yeah.
But they also set boundaries that this kid crossed multiple times and went above and beyond to break. Not to mention, it wasn't exactly the best person to have around. And if that starts inflicting with your life and your studies, then that's when there's a problem.
Yeah, I
Plus, I
agree.
get that he's technically a kid, but kids are way more intelligent and understand shit way more than we give them credit for. He knows that he was in the wrong. He knows that he was fucking them over.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah, but
chose
that
to
can
ignore
also
it.
depend on the way you were brought up as well. Knowing right from wrong is normally developed by seeing what's in front of you. It's not a moral that you're built with at the start. It's something that you develop over time seeing.
No, but it is an
Yeah.
understanding. He called his brother knowing that he had nowhere else to go. His brother gave him a few simple rules. I don't know what else he expected other than to be kicked out if he broke those rules tenfold.
It might be
Yeah,
because
like,
of
what
his
the hell?
parents. Like, they might have been real lenient with that stuff. And because it sounds like he came from an abusive sort of hard upbringing. So that's why he moved in with his brother. So the way that they treated him in the other house might have been different. He might not have thought that he was going to get kicked out because it was never a concept to him.
No, but I doubt he'd ever had to deal with being asked where he was if he broke curfew, or being talked to, or being threatened of being grounded. I don't think he ever had to deal with any of that. He had to deal with being starved, though, which is fucked in itself. But
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
he
that's
still
really fucked up.
kids can still understand consequences, and
Yeah.
he failed to learn those. Even when he thought, like, they thought everything was going good, he ended up then fucking them over by throwing a party.
Yeah, didn't the brother and stuff go with him and give a brother-to-brother talk? And they gave him a second chance even after he fucked up the kitchen.
Yeah,
So then
like,
he's got to
fucking
have
smoked
learned,
weed and
right?
did all that shit. And they took a brother-to-brother 2-hour-long walk, and then he goes and does that shit. And like, party 101, you keep people out of rooms. Like, I don't throw parties, and I know that. But
Yeah.
fucking, one, he never should have threw that party, and two, he should have been fucking smart about it. You clean up and you don't let people in rooms.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Not
I
that's
don't know.
true.
that he's also a weed smoker. The cunt's a druggie and he's 14.
Yeah, what the
Yeah.
fuck, man? Got some heavy issues.
So I don't think the chick's an asshole, but I do
No.
think that kid really needs help.
Yeah, and he needs help that two students who are struggling to make their way in life, because I'm pretty sure this would be America,
Yeah.
and America is fucked, especially for students.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they don't have the capacity to deal with this shit. They
Yeah.
tried their best.
They tried their best, and I think they're actually not assholes. I think they're great people for even trying that in the first
They
place.
fucking tried. They
Yeah.
did, and he sort
And
of
even
just,
gave a second
disregarded
chance.
it.
Even gave a second chance after he actually cost them directly money with the kitchen destroying. You know?
I don't think I've seen anyone on the subreddit who's actually been an asshole.
Well,
No,
I mean, what about the
usually when it
guy?
starts
What about
with,
the pull out for the fucking car guy? He's been the fucking asshole, hasn't he?
Yeah, but not the person making the post, Yeah,
Yeah,
that guy's
yeah.
a fucking dick. What an asshole.
yeah, the people who ask the questions usually aren't the assholes,
Yeah.
because
No.
people who are the assholes don't
Wouldn't
take time
question.
to think, am I the
They
asshole?
don't.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no, the people who are the assholes don't have the brain capacity to post.
They're just like, no, I'm right. I'm right.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
true
don't need
assholes
other
don't
people.
go, am I the asshole? They go, I'm not the asshole, you are.
Yeah.
They go, you are the asshole.
Like that guy from the backup incident. You're the asshole for
Yeah.
helping me.
You're the asshole for speaking to me in the first place.
Bro,
Yeah,
that's a
you know,
common
man, I
that's
theme.
dislike
what
this
you
guy.
get for breathing.
That's a common thing. Both the backup guy and the kid were both doing it. You're the asshole for helping me.
Fuck.
Yeah. But the kid has issues
Yeah,
and stuff. Obviously, that guy has fucking issues too. They both need to get help.
yeah.
But
They
definitely this
might
kid.
both be in the same class.
Yeah, they're not in the
Well,
same
no,
class.
that guy was like, what, 24?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Well, this kid
14 and he's been
is like
starved by his parents and stuff, so yeah, no.
Yeah, this kid's had it fucking rough. So this kid needs help. And like hearing that makes you think, oh, you think a 14-year-old needs help? Like, yeah. Yeah, I do. Not like fucking he needs to go into like some intense training and shit. He just needs someone there. Like someone
talk
who
to.
he can constantly go to because this fucking kid is breaking. He's
Yeah.
gonna be fucked when he's older if he doesn't get any help.
He needs a good social security system, but unfortunately, America has the worst social security system in the world.
Like the worst a lot of things. The worst public transport, the worst social security.
Shut up!
What?
Fuck.
What?
You and your fucking public transport,
Bro,
man.
public transport is amazing, man. I've been shown the light.
We're trying to help a 14-year-old here, alright?
Alright.
Like that's could all tie into like our last episode, how we started talking a little bit about mental health and suicide rates. This is a lot of the reason why as well. Like it's
Yeah.
not just religion; it's also this sort of
Well, yeah, of
upbringing.
course.
And
It's
then
not just
completely
religion.
disregard the kid, and they say he's a lost cause. This
Yeah.
cunt's a lost cause. Then they don't even try to help him, which is
Yeah.
kind of like American social fucking
Yeah.
development or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
fucked.
I
It is.
know someone who was part of the American fucking child home system because he had a rough childhood and shit. And holy shit, the kid is better off being homeless than he is thrown into that system. Kids
Holy
fucking
shit.
fight each other for shoes. The nuns and the fucking caregivers bet on them sometimes.
Fucking hell.
The caregivers will go, yo, if you smash that kid over because he was a cunt and asked for more breakfast, I'll give you this pair of shoes. Like
Fucking hell.
fucking yeah, children's homes and shit are worse than being homeless. And it's fucking sad. These kids need help, and instead they're put in children fight clubs.
Yep, no, society's fucked in. I guess we could get more into that in one of the other later podcasts.
Yeah, we
do
need to
plan
get
on
into that
addressing
later.
social
Social
modern
systems and all
society.
that.
Yeah, so we will end up getting into that eventually,
Yeah.
but we'll save it for a different time.
Yeah, we've been
Final
going
words
on
the
this for a
story.
while, so
Yeah.
we'll probably have to wrap this
Final
one up.
words on this.
Final words?
Final words. Chick's not the
asshole.
Kid.
No way.
In other words,
needs
none
help.
of the people have been the asshole. It's always the chick asking if I'm the asshole too. All three of these have been a chick.
Mainly is dudes have too much pride to go, am I the asshole? Then no.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm probably the asshole.
Yeah.
Or no, you're the asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Oh no, if you
Yeah.
want to add any final words, my final words are
No,
any big black chicks who are being sold to arranged marriages, come by my house instead.
no, we're not doing final words. This is the outro.
No,
yeah.
I want final words.
Well, he's trying to pick up some chick who's like traumatized from almost being sold to someone. He's trying to pick them up in their time of weakness.
Guess it's better than no chick, right?
Hey, I'm weak too, so
That shows you how good a person Mitchell is, and even he knows it's wrong.
hey, at least I'm not trying to buy them. I'll win their heart honorably.
Yeah.
by belittling them.
Okay.
Right, let's wrap this shit
Yeah,
up.
let's wrap this shit up. We've been talking for 2 hours, so I have to look through a 2-hour segment to cut down. So, yeah. But it was great with the guest star. So, that was I don't know how many episodes we've done. The 3rd or the 4th? I think it's the 4th that we've done now. Yeah, the 4th episode of the Desensitized podcast. This time, obviously, with me, Tidal Johnson, and Jade Waipara, or Chad Moldy, and our guest of honor, Mitchell Engel, who's provided his insight on this podcast. Do you have any last words, Mitchell? Or
final words?
Hear me the first time. My dad's dead.
Yeah, okay. Do you have any final
Nice.
words or?
Woo!
I like to establish my two-dimensional character.
Do you have any final words? Do you have any final words or any like shout outs or some shit you want to do? Or is that you?
Oh yeah.
Who knows?
If my auntie's listening to this, shame.
Like, he might be back on another one, who knows?
Yeah, we never know. We never know. So yeah, that's
The audience is like, that guest star, bring him back and I will kill myself.
Then it looks like you're gonna definitely become part of a regular member of the podcast if that happens then.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it kills
hopefully
repeat viewing,
an American
but
too.
an American, yeah. I shit talked so many American shit things in the other podcast, so
New Zealand's suicide rate is so high.
Yeah,
More
that's
Americans
true.
need to kill themselves.
We do need to talk about mental health, but not for this podcast.
We'll get to that in a later podcast.
Yeah,
we're done here.
Yeah, foreshadowing for the next one. There's a group of topics that it could be about. These topics are, it could be about modern society, Black Lives Matter, COVID, feminism, or veganism, or something else that we said earlier. Maybe, mental health. But it's one of them.
You're boring me.
All right.
Could be about me having a sleep.
See ya. Have a good life. So, goodbye.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
Cocky dear, cocky dear, cocky dear.